Probably one of the most dangerous animals in the world is the human being. Second most dangerous animal in the world to human beings is the mosquito. Bears, they instinctively strike terror into all of us, and for some good reasons, but mostly not. So I'm just going to do a presentation talking about some of the stuff I learned to prepare myself to go on a solo camping trip in bear country for 4 nights and 5 days. So stick around and enjoy this. The chance of getting killed or eaten by a bear is really small. And yet, because they're a large animal and there's not much we can as humans do, they do strike terror. Now, bears tend to attack for 3 main reasons. They attack for predatory, territorial or protective reasons. So, the mother and the cub, we all know about that. Turns out that's a bit of a myth, I'll get into that. The territorial one's most common. The bear is doing something like eating your garbage or eating berries and you wander into their area and they give you all the signs that say go away, and you don't go away, and they charge, and they may or may not hit you, they may or may not attack. Usually they won't fully attack. The most dangerous type, and it's the rarest, is the predatory black bear. Now this talk is going to be exclusively about Canadian black bears. I'm not going to talk about Indian or Russian or grizzly or polar bears. They're all different, they all have different characteristics, so if you're in their country you need to know. But I only have black bears up here, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. The good news appears to be that it's very rare. And you can see from the chart, the number of victims, human fatalities over a huge long period of time is like very tiny and trivial. Right, if you get eaten it's bad for you, but in risk terms it's tiny. You're much more at risk probably crossing the road of any small town. I will be camping and I will be doing some hiking in the wilderness. Now, looking up what the area I'm going into told me to do, it told me to make lots of noise, don't travel on my own. If I travel on my own, carry a long-handled axe and fight to the death if I get attacked. Doug of Pinetree Outdoors did an absolutely wonderful video on what he carries on into bear country at the dangerous times of year, and that video is well worth a watch. Alright, so the estimated 750,000 black bears in North America kill on estimation less than 1 person a year. Mostly those people are on their own or in groups of 2. Usually they've done something wrong or they've just been down unlucky. It does happen that you will encounter predatory bears. It's rare. Predatory bears are mostly responsible for the attacks on people. These are usually lone male animals, though it can be female, and they usually stalk and kill their human prey. Often the human prey may or may not know they're being stalked until they're actually hit, and oftentimes, even if they know they're coming, there's not much they can do about it. In Canada there's about 375,000 black bears, so the chance of me encountering one's fairly rare. However, Ontario is the province that has the most bear attacks by black bears. We're the worst province for attacks by bears, except for British Columbia, that also of course has grizzly bears and a lot of tourists. So there is a chance. Bear sightings in the wild are usually rare. Even with hiking, bears almost always get out of the way if they know you're coming. I have seen a bunch of bears in my life, mostly at dumps, and that's a bad thing because they get used to human beings being around and lose their instinctive fear of us. But I have seen them in the wild. I've seen cubs in the wild, females in the wild, black bears in the wild. And if you've never seen a bear, an adult bear in the wild, I can honestly tell you it makes you realise just how vulnerable you are. Up to 2014 in Canada there have been 4 fatal bear attacks. Now those 4 killed 7 people. And in the area I'm going specifically, there have been fatal bear attacks in recent history in the last 10 years. So it's something I'm taking fairly seriously, and so should you if you're in bear country. But you should bear in mind that over the same period that those 7 people got killed by black bears in Canada, almost 500 people were killed by dogs in Canada and North America. So yeah, this is much more dangerous to you than anything else. So I've got a question for you. If you're in black bear country, should you carry a gun or should you carry bear spray? What do you think? A gun or bear spray? Well, the answer is as follows. As you can see from the chart, they studied this and they looked at hundreds of thousands of cases over historical time where bears had attacked people who were carrying guns, usually hunters. And they found that in all of those bear attacks, if you were carrying a gun, your death rate would be approximately 3.5%. Severe injury rate would be 5.2%, moderate or slight injuries would be 14.8%. So if you're carrying a gun and you were attacked by a black bear, you had a 76.5% chance of not being injured at all. So 3 out of 4. Not the greatest, is it? Now over a shorter period of time, because bear spray hasn't been around that long, they looked at bear encounters, hostile bear encounters, when the people were carrying bear spray. What do you think the death rate was? Lower numbers of people, right? Still significantly large numbers. 0. 3% of the people got injured, minorly. There were no severe injuries, there were no deaths if you had bear spray. Now 11% of the people suffered minor irritation from the bear spray, and a whopping 2% of them actually incapacitated themselves by spraying bear spray. Probably the wrong way. Just by using the bear spray, even if they point it the wrong direction and collapse themselves, black bears hate bear spray. They will go nowhere near it. So first off, you have to have the bear spray ready to use and able to use it from wherever it's holstered. It should be on your hip. You may well not have time to lift it off your hip or out of a pocket, let alone out of a backpack, let alone open it. A predatory bear attack is absolutely dramatically fast. You may have no warning or almost a second or two of warning. If the bear's on his way and you know he's on his way, pull out the bear spray and give quick repeated short blasts in his general direction until he gets close. If he's close when he starts the attack, or if he's close to you, just turn it on and give him full force without pausing. He will stop and he will turn, and you've probably got 10 to 20 minutes where you can slowly back off and get the heck out of there. Now in that case, get to help and get a report in. A predatory bear will keep attacking. The statistics are totally clear on this. Pepper spray has never failed when used properly and quickly enough. If you try to use a gun, you have a great chance, a 1 in 4 chance of getting seriously injured or killed. Simply put, to shoot a bear that's charging at you at the speeds they charge at you is really difficult. And to actually hit a bear, an adult male bear, and kill it on the run is even more difficult. Yes, it can be done. But really, carry and use pepper spray. They tell you not to walk in bear country at night, and I can attest to that. Boy, you don't see them during the day, but they're certainly out at night. Also try and walk with the wind. Remember that if you're walking with the wind behind you, the bear often will smell you and avoid you. Now if it's a predatory bear, you're giving him a tip-off that you're coming. If the bear stands on its hind legs and makes aggressive noises at you, they're doing that to get a better look at you. When they see you backing off, the chances are they won't attack you. If a bear's swinging its head from side to side, it's saying, please go away. Again, back away slowly. If you're in a crouch or lying down when you encounter the bear, get up slowly. Panic and die is the message I got from all of this. Now if you see the bear's ears flick backwards, it's probably going to charge you. Now most bluff attacks will charge up to you or even hit you with the head to push you out of the way. One of the key things you might want to do is have the pepper spray to dissuade them, because you may not be sure this is a predatory attack, in which case you have to fight to the death, or whether it's one of the more frequent attacks, which is territorial, which is saying, I don't like you being there, please go away. If they're clicking their teeth and pawing the ground, they're all bad signs as well. However, a predatory bear is just going to sneak around you and attack. They're more territorial signs. You might hear barks and woofs. You might hear the jaws popping. Now, one of the things people habitually do wrong is the yell and scream. Bear, bear, go away, bear! That's not helpful. It's aggressive. You don't want to be aggressive with a bear. By all means, talk calmly and loudly to let the bear know that you know the bear's there. The one thing you must never do, and I think people do this because it's a human reaction, is to stare at the bear's eyes. Try not to look directly at the bear. That is definitely considered aggressive. If you're within 50 yards or less of the bear when all of this starts happening, stand your ground. Get the spray ready for immediate use. You can just fire off a short squirt, even if it's 50 yards away and hasn't done anything. The hissing sound alone can scare the bear. It'll make you feel better. Back away slowly, keeping your face at the bear but your eyes not on the bear. Once the bear is close enough to hit in the face with the spray, sustain burst in the face. They're usually 15 paces away from you, about 40 feet or so. Now, the bear spray is guaranteed to make the bear turn and run away, or at least stop the attack. It cannot continue the charge. It's painful. Bear spray is not that effective on humans, but on a bear, it makes them stop breathing. It literally locks their lungs up, which is why bear spray, not a... If you have to spray into the wind, try not to breathe. You are going to be somewhat incapacitated, but the bear is the one you really have to incapacitate. If you do get bear spray in you, just cough aggressively, not too loudly, as you back away. Never, ever, ever play dead with a black bear. Simply put, it's going to attack. A black bear, if it's attacking you, will not stop. They are not grizzly bears. It's totally different. Fighting as if your life depends on it is important. In fact, the advice, the place I'm going, is to carry a long-handled axe if you're going hiking in the forest, so you can swing at the bear as it's coming at you. My advice is to carry pepper spray. A long-handled axe is not much use. I'd rather use the pepper spray. I will be carrying a large knife, and I will go for its carotid. You will strike at its face and its eyes, and with anything you can. Now, you should have a knife. Never ever give up. If you give up on a black bear, you will die.
Have no fear for when I'm alone. I'll be better off than I was before. I've got this life